Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Josh Orris here, and today I'm coming to you guys with one of my deepest videos on my channel. As you guys can tell, I'm not as enthusiastic as I normally am. I'm just kind of mellow, and it's just going to be a hard video for me to make and produce. Before I start this video, a trigger warning is advised to anyone which easily gets triggered or offended by things. I highly don't recommend watching this video if you're one of those people. And for the people that think this is a clout grab, fuck off. It's nothing like that. And there'll be no ads on this video. There'll be no monetization on this video. I will be making nothing out of this video. My main goal for this video is to tell my story and hopefully have some people reach out for help. Ultimately build the confidence for help. And I know the title says how suicide saved my life, but I know it's something which is very touchy. I don't recommend it, trying to kill yourself at all. I don't condemn that. I don't think that, you know, it will save your life. I'm just explaining how it saved mine. So it was October 29th. It was like 1 or 2 a.m, 12 a.m. For the past few months, I've been going through a very big downfall mentally. It's just one of those things. I don't know how to explain how it happened or where it began. I'm not going to tell you the origin of my childhood. My childhood was great. I went through a stage in my life where I was abusing drugs, and that did not help my mentality at all. And then I kind of moved away from everyone. I separated. I went through a few abusive relationships, which fucked me up. And I just wasn't the most bright and popular kid. I dropped out of school, and everything just kind of went downhill from there. I just kind of went out of control. I kind of looped and spiraled into a stupid pit of dumb shit. I don't know how to explain. Like, it's one of those videos where it's just going to be a lot of I don't know if I'm going to cut this up either. So I was going through this down spiral of moods where my moods would constantly get worse and worse and worse. As you guys could tell by my Twitter, I would constantly be tweeting out about how I'm depressed, how I'm not feeling good, how I just don't want to be here. It was just, yeah, it was a really rough stage in my life. Now, October 29th was the night I just finally decided I was just done with it. I just couldn't carry on anymore. I had come to the conclusion that in my brain, the only way I would find peace is by taking my own life. This night is a bit of a blur to me, but I still remember it so finely. It's one of those nights that you will never forget, but really don't remember at the same time. I know that's not going to make sense to a lot of you, but it was just one of those nights. Sorry if this gets really, like, if I'm just not sounding happy making this, because I hate, one of the things I'm horrible at is explaining how I feel, so this is going to be a mess of a video, but bear with me, guys, as I try to explain it all. So, October 29th, let's run through the day. I think I woke up at 4 p.m. after a shift at work, and I just was feeling awful. I remember waking up and just going, I'm alive. Why am I here? And at the time, I was going through a really kind of rough stage with some of my relationships. I don't really want to talk about it because I don't want to blame her for any of this, even though it wasn't her fault. It just kind of, it was just a fucked over situation. But yeah. So I was going through like a rough relationship point of time, and I was like, I just had my heart broken. And before anyone says anything, my mood was not based on one girl. It definitely got affected by it, but yeah. So I was going through a rough stage in my life where I was waking up every morning and I felt just so alone. I felt like no one was there. I felt like I was by myself. I was trapped in my own mind. That's the thing with depression a lot of people don't get. Like, yeah, you can be there for someone to a maximum degree. You can be there for someone to the very best of your ability. When someone's trapped in their own mind, so deep into their mind, it's really hard to help them get out of their mindset. I'm not saying don't support your friends which are depressed. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying it's very hard to get someone out of the mind state they're in, because only they can do it ultimately. You can support them, you can be there for them, and I highly recommend doing all of that. But if they're stuck in their head and they've imprinted in their own brain that they're going to be alone and they're alone, that's how they're going to feel regardless of how many people are there. It's not them being selfish. It's not them saying that you're not good enough or anything. Please don't ever take that from anyone which is depressed. Don't be like, oh, he just doesn't think I'm good for them or whatever. Also, please don't be one of those people that just can't handle someone which is in a bad mood, which is going through a rough patch, so you leave them. That's the worst thing you can do to someone, because that just affects them beyond belief. As much as they're pushing you away, keep pushing yourself back into their life. Keep pushing yourself to be there for them, because that's what they need most. They need to know that someone's going to be there for them, regardless of how big their ups are, how low their downs are. They just need someone to know that they're going to be there for them, regardless of what. I had a lot of people say that they were going to be there for me no matter what, but a lot of people just fucked off and they just left me. They left me for dead, basically. But in saying that, I did have a lot of fucking people there for me. A lot of people. I can't even list names off the top of my head. I had Jay, Anton, I had all the Risen boys, I had all the TapX boys at the time, I had so many people there. I had Zin, Foxman was messaging me a lot. I had so many people. I don't want to list names because I don't want to leave anyone out, but I had so many people there for me, and I appreciate you all so much. Anyway, this is getting a bit off topic. So yeah, I woke up that day and I just really wasn't feeling it. I remember I went back to bed. I remember I woke up and was just like, nah, and went back to bed. I had one of my sleeping tablets, went back to bed, and then I remember getting up that day and I'm just like, I remember properly getting out of my bed that day and I'm just like, nah, this is definitely the day. It's gonna happen. So I got out of my bed that day. I hopped on PS4 for what I thought was the last time and tried to make the most out of everything I could with my friends. No one knew at the time that this was how I was thinking, because I kept it all so deep within myself because I didn't want anyone to know. I wanted people to know when it was too late. As fucked up as that is, that's how I wanted it to be. So that night I went into my work just to say hello to all my friends and stuff, and then because a lot of my good IRL mates work at the same work as me, so I went in that night and kind of said goodbye to them. I remember one of them said, "Oh yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Josh," and I was thinking to myself, if only you knew, man, if only you knew. So that night I went home, I had a shower. I remember I got one of these pairs of scissors, these really sharp pairs of scissors, started digging into my thigh and started cutting myself and just watching myself bleed, watching the blood flow everywhere, and I was just like, yep, I just can't do this. So I remember getting into my bed, writing up a massive goodbye letter. I didn't know where to post it, I didn't know what to say, so I kind of just wrote something short explaining that I just couldn't do this anymore. But I made sure before I posted it that before anyone could talk me out of it, I was going to I tried to overdose. I was going to take the sleeping tablets, so by the time it was posted, there was no stopping it, there was no healing it, there was nothing. So I ended up having about 20 sleeping tablets because that's all I had left. I just sat there drinking them, crying, looking at my computer screen, my laptop screen, ready to click post, thinking that it was going to be the last day I ever lived. And then all the realizations started hitting me that it was done. It was all finished. It was game over. It was done. So I posted the tweet on Twitter, and within seconds my phone started blowing up. I remember Jumpshot was one of the first people to comment on it, same with Luntz. They were the first people to say delete this, message me. But I just couldn't do it. I couldn't talk to anyone. I was just stuck in that mind state where I thought, nah, I just can't do it. I'm done with this. So that night, I remember just laying there. I remember just passing out. I'm thinking, finally I'm at peace. But I remember having nightmares. I remember having these nightmares where there was like a demon type thing waiting at the gates for me, as cringe and generic as that is. I remember it so vividly. I just remember some creature which looked demonic just standing at a gate waiting for me. And then my phone, just all I heard in the side of my ear was buzzing sounds, but I didn't know that it was just like, it was my phone. I thought it was like, it felt like just a horrible nightmare. None of this felt real. None of this felt like it actually happened. I thought I was just in a very, very bad dream. Now, I woke up. Luckily for me, I woke up. I didn't do any serious harm to myself. I woke up. I woke up, checked my phone, and had over 300 notifications from missed calls, Snapchats, messages, tweets, everything. I had 300 notifications. It was crazy to me to realize that so many people were there for me and so many people were there. So I checked Twitter as I normally would, and I saw that Foxman put out a tweet saying that Zin had called emergency services on me. And then shortly after, I remember having a knock on the door, and the cops were there. I had to sit there and have a chat with them in front of my dad. You know how humiliating it is, showing your parents, showing your family how weak you've really become. You had to explain what had happened that night, and just seeing how heartbroken my dad was and how much it actually affected him is what killed me most. That's what hurt me most. What hurt me most was not what I did to myself that night, was what I did to everyone else around me, seeing the distraught, seeing the trouble I caused for everyone, seeing how I made everyone feel. That's what killed me most. I never realized that there was that many people that were genuinely there for me and genuinely cared. Now, after that night, I remember my mum booked me into my old psychologist, which I used to see within. She made an emergency booking. So keep in mind, at the time, I was on medication that wasn't working for me and was just triggering a thought in my brain that kept making my moods worse. So I hadn't started my new medication as of yet. I was starting it, I think, on the Sunday of that week. So she booked me in to see this psychologist, and I had to explain everything to him. We had a good chat, and we worked out a game plan. Basically, what he made me do was write down a list of what I want to improve and how I can improve it. Now, believe it or not, that actually helped me so much. And to be honest, people who say medication doesn't help, if you're not willing to trial and error new medications, it's not going to ever be the first one you try. You never know which one it's going to be which you try. For me, it was the second one. I got really lucky. This medication's working absolute dreams for me. Yes, it has side effects. All medication has side effects, but this literally changed my mood. Now, basically, from that night on, a week later, I found out even worse news. Believe it or not, I found out that the girl I was seeing is seeing someone I fucking dislike. I wasn't even seeing her, like, she kind of, I don't know, it's retarded. So a girl I was talking to started talking to someone I disliked, which used to be my friend, and they started dating, and that night, I broke down again. I didn't do anything to hurt myself that night. Actually, I did. I punched a wall. I punched a few walls. I used to be really angry and have a thing for harming myself. It was really stupid. So that night, I remember I was just sitting at work for 8 hours, just non-stop breaking down, tears flowing down my face. Everything was just destroying me that night. But something clicked the day after all that happened. I need to work on myself. I don't need to worry about anyone else. I need to work on being someone different and work on myself. Now, these two drastic events in my life literally saved my life, and I'm so thankful that they happened, because without them, I'd still be stuck in the fucking rut I was stuck in. I would still be the same fucking depressed piece of shit I was 2 weeks ago that hated, not even 3 weeks ago, that hated everything. That didn't want to live, that didn't want to do anything like this. So these events opened my eyes, and I started working on myself. I started going to gym, I started doing things that I enjoyed, I started going out more, I started socializing with people that actually wanted to socialize with me, rather than think about, oh fuck, what have I done wrong with this person, what have I done wrong with that person. Overthinking will destroy you. Now, I know this is a lot easier said than done. Trust me, I fucking do. It took me 2 drastic situations before I realized that the only person that can drag you out of the slump you're in is yourself. Yes, people can help you. Yes, people can give you advice and help you push through that slump. But the only person that can help you out of the slump you're in is yourself. Now, 2 weeks later, I'm as happy as I could ever be, honestly. I'm at the peak of my life at the moment. I've got such amazing friends. I've cut out so much toxic people. I've stopped hurting myself. I don't have suicidal thoughts as much. Yeah, I'm not saying like everything magically disappears. Fuck it. It still comes back from time to time, but you need to learn to combat it and start distracting yourself in order to better yourself. Now, the thing is, I know it's not going to work for everyone, but what I recommend to people is please just go get help. You know what? I'm going to leave some homework on this video. I want you guys to write down, not in the comments, just to yourself, 3 things you want to improve in your life, and 3 ways you can improve them. Whether it can be as simple as, learning to kick a football better. It can be as simple as going to the gym. It could be as complicated as becoming a rocket scientist. I want you to write down 3 things right now you want to change in your life and what you can do to change them to become a better person. 3 things that would impact your life and completely change everything and change the way you see things and how much happier you could be. And after you do that, I want you to write some short-term goals and some long-term goals. My short-term goal was just to go out with friends more. That was one of my short-term goals, and I've started doing that more. Another one of my short-term goals was to go to the gym. I'm starting to do that as well. Like you just start with small baby steps towards bigger things. Now I know this video is a complete mess. It's 15 minutes long. I don't know who's going to watch through this whole video. Basically, this whole event was what helped me change my life for the better, and honestly, I'm going through such a good stage right now. As I said before, I've got amazing friends, I'm talking to an amazing girl, I'm working on my channel, I'm in an amazing team, I'm doing things I enjoy. I'm losing weight, I'm healthier than ever, I'm feeling great. It's amazing what a few weeks can do. Now, to anyone in this slump, I know it's hard. I know it's one of the hardest things anyone can ever go through. I do not wish this upon my worst enemy. But as generic as this is, it does get better. But it only gets better once it starts with you. What I learned with myself is what one of my friends told me. You can either dwell on the situation and sit there and feel bad for yourself, or you can get the fuck up, pick yourself up by the ear, and go achieve things and better yourself, or move on. Show that person that you didn't need them. Show whatever it is that's bringing you down that you don't need it. Show whatever it is that's bringing you down that you can kick its ass and step the fuck up and be the best person you could possibly be. Now that's basically it for the video, guys. Sorry if this video is a bit of a mess. It's a bit unorganized. I hope this video explains a bit what's been going on lately, and I know it's probably going to hit some people in the feels and hit some people in the nerves. Down below, I'll list some suicide contact numbers, and if you're ever feeling down or anything, feel free to message me. My DMs are open to anyone and everyone. I want to help more people. The aim of this video was to hopefully explain my side of the story a bit and hopefully teach people, not teach people, hopefully get people to willingly to reach out and improve their life. Anyway, guys, it's been your boy Wrist. I hope you guys enjoyed this bit of a deeper video. Have a good one. Peace.